Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so...
Live from Studio 6B on a Monday, March 17th, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. Welcome back in. Paul Nolan's here. He's going to do some news. Rick Delgado's got the news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Happy St. Patty's Day. Slick will be here to do sports as well. He's just running a little late. Hope you had a great weekend, Mr. Delgado. Happy St. Patty's Day. Oh, the Irish. Look at the Irish. How are you?
I'm wearing my my Irish shirt, as you can see.
0% Irish.
0% Irish. Yes, that's me.
Hey, you're wearing
DNA test.
You're wearing green, though. That's good.
Yeah, just a little green writing on the black.
What have you done so far on St. Patty's Day?
Let's see. I've housed about 2 slices of Aaron's mom's soda bread in there because it's freaking delicious. Holy moly. It's not like that dry, crusty stuff you buy in a store. This stuff tastes like cake.
Cornbread.
Yes, it tastes like cake. It's awesome. Yeah. So, Aaron, tell your mom, keep it coming. Every day should be Irish soda bread day.
Okay. We'll let her know for you.
Yes.
How was the rest of your day?
The rest of my day was good. My weekend was a little weird. I got a story. You want to hear it? Sure,
no.
Of course.
No, I don't.
No,
your day was not good.
No, my day was
No, your day did not start good at all.
Why not?
It just did not start good.
It didn't? Why not?
Aaron, because I woke up this morning. You don't follow us on Twitter or you didn't pay attention. Elon Musk was out talking about he gave an interview.
He did.
Yes. And I found this morning. Your day was not off to a good start. You just don't realize it.
I just didn't
Put this up, Aaron.
All right.
I have yet to see any actual evidence of aliens.
Oh!
All right.
There we go.
All you got to do.
Not a good day to wake up and be you. Let me play it again for you.
I have yet to see any actual evidence of aliens.
This is the guy who goes into space.
Right, yes.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, he's still using 60-year-old technology, so, whatever.
One more time.
I have yet to see any actual evidence of aliens. So, and I'm really deep in space. Yeah. If there is some actual evidence of aliens or an actual UFO, I'll be there in a second. Obviously, it's like, are we talking about buddies here? Or like, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was at
not a great start to your day.
I was at a function just about a week or so ago, and they had talked about all the things from space that they'd come across.
Really?
Yes. Remember the Ancient Aliens
Live deal?
Exactly. Things that can't be explained by mere mortals.
So they say that Elon basically has no idea what he's talking about?
He might not have the best sources for this.
Okay.
Just saying.
Doesn't he have rockets?
Rockets?
Exactly.
Do you know anybody else with them?
Yeah. We have rockets. The Chinese have rockets. Okay. The Russians have rockets. Everybody seems to have this old technology rockets.
Have any of them found anything?
Have any of them? We don't know. They won't tell us.
Let's do breaking news here. Rick Delgado's here. Let's get our Epstein update for the day. Okay. Rick Delgado, over to you.
Let's see. As of today, nothing for the Epstein files. Nothing.
This has been breaking news with Rick Delgado. No report. We'll get back to it tomorrow.
You want to play that game? I can play. We got some JFK files being released.
I saw
that was announced today.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, like 2000 buried documents seem to have appeared.
Maybe. Cut number 2, if you don't believe it. Check it out.
We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this, and I've instructed my people that are responsible lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard, and that's going to be released tomorrow.
Yeah. So there you have it.
I put that clip on our social media about 7:25 tonight, and I said, "What's your prediction?" Do you want to hear some of the responses? Okay, good. J. for Liberty says, intelligence agencies investigating intelligence agencies. Prediction, no intelligence found. Pyro Fritz said LBJ did it. Smokehouse Casey says, who knows if it was the first successful coup by the deep state, but it will be the first recorded in U.S. history. Philco says, along with the Epstein files, ? Sasquatch Seeker says, having read several books on the subject, it's my opinion that the headshot was from behind. An accident occurred when the Secret Service agent in the follow-up car had an AR-15. BS. He did not do it intentionally. BS. Laura says, Epstein, please. Sorry. KC58 says, don't think it'll be accurate if true at all. Cave Chick says Jackie O was involved. That's why she wore the pink dress. Lori Hill says, yes, I'll be redacted, plus probably old man Bush is going to have something to do with it. We have to wait for him to go. So Nigel Ferris says the results will not be anything of what we're hoping for. Janet Jones says, I hope we learn a lot. Snickerdoodle says Tulsi will redact everything and we'll be left with some BS story instead of the truth.
I think everything's redacted already.
Shelley Haynes says, I believe Bush Sr. had a big role in it.
100%.
Have you ever seen the video of the envelopes being handed to former presidents at their funeral?
Yes.
Okay.
Seen that.
And so that's pretty much the responses so far to what's your prediction on the JFK files. All
right. Well, according to this from the New York Post, they're releasing 80,000 files on the assassination of JFK tomorrow. That the promise from President Trump. We were just talking Bush. President Trump, as we were played his remarks earlier today. He says... I guess he was at the Kennedy Center. He says, while we're here, I thought it would be appropriate that tomorrow announcing they're giving all the JFK files. So you've got a lot of reading. I don't believe we're going to redact anything he says. We have a tremendous amount of paper. He says, he added, they've been waiting for that for decades, and I said during the campaign I'd release them, and I'm a man of my word, so tomorrow you will have the JFK files.
Okay, let me formally welcome Paul Nolan to the show. Mr. Nolan, how are you?
I am well.
What do you think will be, do you think there will be anything worthwhile in the JFK files tomorrow that we get?
I can only hope so.
Well, like what would be worthwhile?
I mean, honestly, I just would love to see the entire coup that was surrounding, Lyndon Johnson, and they put their puppet in place. To me, it was the deep state. It was Prescott Bush. It was Allen Dulles. It was the CIA at the time who wanted their, war. He stopped Operation Northwoods dead in its tracks. He went after the Federal Reserve. He took shots at the war machine. JFK had a long list of people who wanted him dead. They had a big plan ahead of them, and if the people out there, if you've never seen this, and Rick Delgado, I bet you would like this. There's a book called Best Evidence by, David Lifton. He spent 15 years researching the entire case and everything that surrounded it, including the autopsy and the bodies that were changed out and swapped out. Absolutely fascinating book. And it also lists about 50 people who suddenly came down with a case of death, who were witnesses who just disappeared, died, heart attacks, car wrecks, you name it, they were gone. So I think it's going to be very hard to uncover the tracks from 50 years ago of a very, very powerful clandestine operation that had complete power, not like today where at least there are internet sleuths and people demanding the truth now, and they've been fed up by all these lies. So it's going to be a tough one to uncover, but I would really like to see something happen.
So let me sum that up for you. So nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Slickster, welcome to the show. You're looking great in green. How are you?
Come on, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Yes, we already did that. But did you see what Aaron's mom delivered?
I did. There? Soda bread, the butter, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
Good stuff. Carrot cake.
Yes.
Man,
how was your weekend?
Fantastic. Quick but good. I was very busy. I had a 5K St. Patrick's Day. I had a fire department installation dinner. Oh, a lot of work. We celebrated Kramer's 31st birthday. Busy weekend, Big D. Glad you asked.
Okay, very good.
How many pictures of Kramer?
Yeah, well,
No, of course not.
Go
He
to the
doesn't
video.
bring pictures.
He's got his own Instagram.
He's like an
a rock
Instagram star, Paul. Come on, I mean, he's got more followers than all of us combined.
Paul knows, he knows.
Share the link. I want to see.
You're looking fabulous in green. How did you celebrate St. Patty's Day? Have you had a couple stouts here early today?
Busy day today, but I had one of my groups. We had a run every Monday night, and I had one cocktail. Yes, I did, but only one big deal. I got to do TV.
Slick looks like the lucky green machine, someone said. So yes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, very good. Do you have any? Do you hope to get anything from the JFK files, or are you like me, like it's just all over your head and who cares? It's going to be nothing.
That's my timeline. I was actually conceived the week that Kennedy was killed. So for me, it's interesting. That's entirely my entire timeline. I was born like 9 months after he was assassinated. And so what am I hoping to see?
Do we think the government's
Paul, I want to see what happened with the deep state. That's
they're not going to drop any bombs on on ourselves here.
Why not?
Come on.
I know. I agree.
At this point, what
spinning on wheels.
What was the excuse in his first term was that he was lobbied hard. I forget by who. Was it Kevin McCarthy?
Mike Pompeo, I believe it was.
Oh, that's right. It was Pompeo, CIA, who was like, no, you can't release this.
Wonder why.
And there were a few people, I guess, that he was trying to protect, but now those people are dead. So you know what? Dead men speak no, whatever the phrase is.
Dead man tells no tales.
Yeah. And I think it's time. And you know what's also, Paul, you might already know this, but do you know who Charles Harrelson is?
No.
Yeah, that's Woody's uncle.
Woody Harrelson's dad, actually.
Oh, I was close. Dad.
Close.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. I forgot
Woody
about
Harrelson's dad, who was, quote unquote, a hitman for the CIA, and was arrested in that area.
What does quote unquote mean? Was he or was he not?
According to
like Joe Biden.
some information that said yes, he
Most people don't put that on their LinkedIn page.
Right.
Yeah.
So
quote unquote.
They don't really advertise that. Hey, you can find me on Craigslist.
Kind of Minnesota.
right. I do a great merengue. I kill people, and if you need your car detailed, hit me up.
I can do it on Sunday.
Right. But anyhow, so Charles Harrelson, Woody Harrelson's dad, was supposedly involved. Supposedly, there's some differing things that I've seen in terms of like what do you call it? Documentary stuff that I've seen about him being arrested as one of the three. What do they call them? They were arrested in a train car. The vagabonds.
Did Woody Harrelson have more to do with it than Ted Cruz's dad, or what's the story?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look into Ted Cruz.
Oh, the mock. We mock what we don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm asking legit questions because I know the least about it of anybody.
No, but there is this checkered career of Charles Harrelson, Woody Harrelson's dad.
But aren't people today seriously saying, I wonder what Ted Cruz's dad's going to be tomorrow? Isn't this just some nonsense going around?
I didn't see Ted Cruz's dad.
I thought somebody made some accusation about his dad. Maybe it was even Trump or somebody from the first administration. Am I wrong about this?
No, I don't think you are. I just don't recall it exactly what was said.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm making this up in a dream or something. I could have swore there was somebody from the first Trump administration, if not him himself, said something about Ted Cruz's dad.
Right. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
All right. Remember I said the three guys that were arrested on a train? They were known as the three tramps. If you look up that, you can find some information about the three tramps that were arrested just outside of Dealey Plaza just after the president was shot.
Someone said, no, Damon, you're wrong. Okay, so I'm wrong. So no one mentions Ted Cruz's dad. I'm just making this up from some dream I had, I guess.
No, I remember something with Ted Cruz's dad.
I thought it was Trump himself.
I think he was. I'll look it up.
Okay,
we'll see.
So I'm not totally losing it, just like 80%.
Right.
Okay.
But according to Elon, there's no aliens.
Okay, that's right.
Well, he's right.
That's exactly right.
You had a look.
Hi, live from Studio 6B, just getting started on a Monday. We're back right after this.
lately. The big thing I see.
I love it.
They're coming for you in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
You notice that?
Howdy.
That's
like
fine.
big time.
It's all fun and
He's
games.
this, he's that. You know,
Howdy.
Chat. Hello from the Jersey Shore. Ticked off Patriot. Chat. What's going on?
Rebecca Rupert, what's up?
Chicken parmesan.
That was a fun.
You are
first
correct,
segment.
Damon. A lot of you are corrects. I see flying. Thank you all.
That was a fun first segment. It was all
I'm
about
not totally losing my mind
stuff
that
I'm
happened.
interested in.
Paul Drag Blacker wants to know, did y'all bring Irish whiskey cake and Irish beer? He's asking you and I, Drag Blacker, in the chat. Did you bring the Irish beer, Paul? No.
Yep. David Lifton, great book, incredible. Anybody who thinks it's just a conspiracy theory is a putz.
Yes.
You're a putz.
I agree.
If you think it's just a theory
Of what? What's
that
it?
JFK was just killed by Oswald and it was a lone gunman who was having a bad day. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I
We
believe
just
that.
happened to take the best
greatest
shots
shot
of his
ever.
life ever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I think.
Putz. I mean, a giant putz.
I saw Harry earlier today.
Harry on the highway.
Harry on the highway was in.
Harry on the highway. We all got to pray for Harry on Wednesday. Harry's going to have a
He's
little.
going in.
Gonna have a little, just a little procedure on Wednesday. Just
Harry's getting
procedure.
some cleanup, huh?
Little procedure on Wednesday. Everybody pray for Harry on Wednesday.
Harry on the highway.
Harry is one sweet dude. Yep.
Chris Allen, Damon is an idiot. Thank you.
They're all over
That's
him.
lovely.
They're
Thank
all
you.
over
Thank you,
him.
Chris.
They love him.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yep, they love to
It's a
hate him.
hate relationship.
Right.
Well, no, it's love on my side. I don't
Right.
hate. I love.
Big D don't care.
I love the hate. By the way.
As long as they're tuning in, it's good by us.
It's only at night. It's not in the day. It's when I stream. It's
That's right, Richard.
Yeah.
Media Zero, conspiracy theories 99.
The freaks come out at night.
Yeah. It's never during the day. Never, ever.
We got Les Bull Durham in the chat. Lisa S.
Wheezy Cat. What's going on Rumble?
Michael Martin.
Michael Martin.
Oh, Lori Lombardo, looking sharp. I'm going to have to put on my fancy shirt again.
You ready? All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, getting a brand new week started. What a busy week it's going to be. Friday night, we'll be live at the America's First Warehouse, doing the show live over there as kind of a test. Probably do a couple test shows with little to no audience, just to work out the kinks and make sure everything works, and then we'll be ready to bring you all in. If you want to come see the show live, you'll be able to do that on any Friday night. We'll have tickets available on the website that I don't know how many we'll make available. Probably, I don't know. I'm not sure what the number's going to be. We'll see.
Make sure you bring your flasks, sneak in some beers.
But no, it's going to be, man, it's going to be like an event. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. We'll may have some live music.
Oh.
Joe the Box, we're going to get that steak truck back for Slick so you can buy everybody steak sandwiches.
Steak sandwiches on Slick.
We're going to get, we're going to
buying.
Did I hear you were going to put up a paywall for the third hour?
No, the third hour. Well, the third hour won't be. The third hour will be us there with the band. Maybe that might be a little like concert.
Nice.
Maybe you'll have to pick up the axe.
Maybe we'll mingle with the crowd.
No, I won't. I'll be doing nothing. I'll be doing nothing of the sort.
He'll be mingling.
I'll be.
You'll be mingling, signing a few autographs.
he'll
Like to
escape
get
out the back door.
like Delbert, Blake Shelton, and then like
Blake Shelton's busy. He's doing American Idol or something.
and then
I like him. He's got that
Laney
song.
Wilson is our first 3 weeks, but I don't. What's the chance of any of those happening? I'd say
I think
about-
zero.
Delgado's pining for Dolly
Let's
Parton.
see. Here we go.
Dolly.
There's the number. 0% chance.
Come on. Dolly Parton's going to come down.
Hey, you ever hear of a country guy named Brian Martin?
No.
Okay. I suck at this.
Okay, very good. But you can send me his music. I'll listen.
How about Remy
Would he
Martin?
like to come play?
Yeah, I'll get him.
Okay, very good. Brian Martin will be our opening week.
about
Who? I have
Remy
no idea. Slick, let's do sports. By the way, our March Madness bracket is now available. If you want to put your skills up against the rest of the LFS6B audience, and everybody should do it, go to our Twitter right now, at LFS6B. It's pinned at the top
of our
page, the link to our bracket that I started today. And I've already roughly made a bracket, but I'm going to adjust it as I go see kind of like where all the...
You still have to play in tomorrow night?
Yeah, I got to go. It's got to be locked in before noon on a Thursday.
Okay.
Your brackets get locked.
Yeah.
So go to Twitter right now, at LFS6B. Right there at the top, you'll see the March Madness brackets pinned. And go. It's totally free. Fill out your bracket. What are we going to do? Top 3?
Yeah.
We'll win merch. You pick something, whatever you want. We won't pick it for you. You can pick it for yourself. So top 3 places will get merch. I think that's what we've done in years past.
You only pay shipping and handling.
Number 1 gets tickets and a dinner to the...
No, it's all free shipping. We always pay the shipping. It's always free shipping. So, go fill out your bracket. And it has to be finalized. Like I said, I made mine, but I'm going to do some adjustments, I think. So it has to be finalized by Thursday at noon before the first game tips.
Now, before this starts, Slick Rick, does my St. Johnny's, do they have a chance?
I have them in the Final Four.
Patino does.
Really?
Yes,
I got them in the Final Four. Nice.
I do. When I look at their...
That's not a
they
stretch.
did the Creighton the other night. They were toying with him. Next thing you know, they get that BS flagrant foul, that call, and then they went haywire.
Yeah, they look good. I think Patino has them ready. I saw him yesterday during Selection Sunday.
I have them in my Final Four right now, and I don't think that's one of the. I don't think I'm going to adjust their bracket, their side. Yep. I think I'm going to leave them.
That's a good one.
So,
yep.
All right, let's do sports. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D, tomorrow night, 6:40 Eastern Time, we'll have the play-in. St. Francis, PA, taking on Alabama State in the South Regional, and North Carolina sneaks in there. Very controversial how they got in, but they're
controversial. It's not even controversial. It's a joke.
What do you mean? It's an
absolute total joke.
How is that a joke?
Oh, here we go.
How is it a joke that North Carolina's in over West Virginia? They played 13 Quad 1 games. You know what their record is against Quad 1? 1-12.
Wow.
Yes.
That was a show.
That's a joke.
Terrible.
But their
non-conference games was like against
conference games were actually the 7th strongest in the country.
That's terrible.
No, it's not.
There's no justification for North Carolina being in the tournament.
Apparently somebody felt there was.
They almost beat Duke.
Their one win
in the last 2
was
weeks.
against American University.
That's not good.
I mean, what are you talking about? There's no case. The West Virginia Attorney General opened up an investigation today into the NCAA. That's how outrageous it is.
Hey, Delgado,
good luck.
did I hear you?
Good luck with that.
Evidence was they almost beat someone.
Yeah, the number 1 team in the country. They played them tough the last 2 weeks.
This is one of those Delgado.
I mean, when you look at Duke is a paper tiger. I'm telling you right now.
Paper tiger.
So they almost beat a paper tiger
because of the fact that they didn't play a lot of close games, so they don't have that.
I'll tell you
that experience
battle tested,
right? Because they blew a lot of teams out. Mostly every game.
Goal.
It's not the goal because if you get into tight games, what happens?
Right.
Is your team able to respond to it?
No, win by as many points as you can is kind of the goal.
I mean, they lost to Kentucky early in the season.
Yes, they did. They had
lost to
losses.
a few teams outside of the ACC. They were kind of, wow, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And then they got into the ACC and they trampled everybody. But 20-point wins as your average in your conference doesn't spell good for the tournament, where crazy things happen in the tournament.
Absolutely, parity in college basketball. Anybody can win this tournament
this year more than ever. Absolutely, and
more than ever.
San Diego State. A lot of people like them playing North Carolina tomorrow night. North Carolina is a 4.5-point early favorite, but a lot of people do like San Diego.
There's no way they should be a favorite over anybody.
Winning that game, what are you going to do, Big D? But let's get right on. Let's move it along from basketball. Hopefully we'll have the score. We will have the scores tomorrow night for you. 6:40 will already be, by the time the show comes on, that should just about be wrapping up. So we'll have the late game for you as well. And then we also have more on Wednesday night, and then those will be the 2 playoff it's 4 playoff play-in games. And then Thursday we get it on for real, Big D. Like you said, brackets got to be in by noon. I got to check out your bracket tonight and see what's going on.
I'm going to go see how many people filled out a bracket already.
Yeah, get on
how
that bracket.
How do they do it with us?
Well, he just told you. You got to go to Twitter.
Thank you, Slick.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, X marks the spot, Delgado.
And that's why Slick Rick is annoyed with you.
Yeah, I'm not annoyed with Delgado. All right, NHL, let's go to the ice. Sabres right now trailing the Bruins 2-1, 10 to go there in the second. Lightning blanking the Flyers there. We're up by 1 at 11:52 to go in the second there as well. Devils and Blue Jackets, no score. Midway second period there. End of 1. Maple Leafs and Flames all knotted up at 1. And Kings 1-0 over the Wild. 11 to go there in the first. Big goaltender tonight so far. NBA action. Knicks 33-31 over the Heat. 7 to go there in the second. Sixers over the Rockets in Houston. 23-11. 5 to go there in the first. Pacers and Timberwolves tied at 10. Just underway midway first. Pistons 19-9 over the Pelicans. 6 to go there in the first. Well, here we go, Big D. Trump wins golf championship at Palm Beach Club. He says it'll be his last. He's hanging him up, Big D. Paul Boyer, Breitbart. President Trump won the golf championship at his club in Palm Beach County, Florida this weekend, later declaring it might be his last. The president announced his victory from his Truth Social on Sunday while topping it off with a bittersweet message. I just won the golf championship, probably my last, at Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach County, Florida. Such a great honor. The awards dinner is tonight at the club, the Post read. I want to thank the wonderful golf staff and all the many fantastic golfers that participated in the event. Such fun. As noted by Fox News, the golf victory came in the day after the White House shared photos of the president dressed in golf attire as he watched strikes on Iran back to Houthis and Yemen. President Trump is taking action against the Houthis or the Houthis?
The Houthis.
To defend U.S. shipping assets and deter terrorist threats. The White House wrote on X, for too long, American economic and national threats have been under assault by the Houthis, not under this presidency, he said. So President Trump, he made the winning shot yesterday. Greatest presidential golfer of all time. Self-proclaimed and self-known. That's it, Big D. That's a wrap in sports.
How about the players?
Yeah, I got to get to the players. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to get to that in the next sports segment. I'm running a little time.
My new favorite golfer won the players.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, in what was, I guess, a playoff today.
Yes, it was a playoff today. Absolutely. Your good old buddy Rory, huh?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, he pulled it out.
Rory McIlroy.
That was a tie, too, with J.J.
I've kind of come full circle on Rory.
He's kind of changed his colors, yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed how he saw the light, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. I don't want him to fall in the pond anymore. So, all right, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some news right after this. You have to have a login to ESPN, I think.
But it says log into ESPN with your My Disney.
Slick Rick, you see the super chat
ESPN,
from...
Yes, I did. I'm just going to get to it. Thank you, Paul. Yes, Mr. Nolan's reminding me. Child of the King, 45.47. I like that. Now, excuse me, gentlemen. Child of the King, $45.47. 45.47. Damon, here is the information you have all waited for on Epstein. He invited blank, 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 blank from Hollywood, blank, 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 and blank, 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 blank. Most importantly, and they blank, 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 to children referred to as slaves.
Okay.
That's it. Well put, Child of the King.
Don't steal Delgado's daily update away.
Yes.
Yeah, right, Child of the King. Come on.
Well, Les Durham coming in with the cash, too. Thank you, sir.
Come on, Les.
Les Bull Durham.
He's praying for Harry. Harry on the highway from Old Chats Patriots. $5. Thank you there.
Papa Nolan, how do you get into your inner circle of news? Michael Martin wants to know.
You might want to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Oh, I thought he meant where do you get your inner circle of news? I was going to say, I don't know, Pluto? But no, I think he's saying how
online for the egg sandwiches at 6 a.m. Hey, did you hear about that?
So, you mean like what are my main sources?
Yes.
I kind of like run a big array. It's kind of...
we start at X94 Underground Report.
Yeah.
And we go to...
Wait, is that X22 report?
I don't know.
That's a little out there.
Hello, Janice on Facebook. Hello, Debbie on Facebook.
I want to know if anyone in the chat had heard of that book that I had mentioned.
Somebody did, because a bunch of people said that the author to you. Typed in the author when you
all right, good.
First said it, so some people have.
Fantastic read.
Kevin Trapp in the YouTube chat. Hey, Slick Rick, the T20 Masters cricket final. India beats West Indies. I said I'll hear crickets in the studio if I run that one.
Is there any Iditarod updates?
All right, what are the chances of getting a Nate Smith?
What's a Nate Smith?
Nate Smith.
Oh, country guy Nate Smith. Yeah, I love him.
Oh, Nate Smith.
He would be awesome.
Household name.
Yeah. No, he is, actually. He's good.
He's like
what's his big hit?
He's definitely a bar guy. Like you could listen to his music and just jam out in a bar.
Nate Smith.
Yeah. Well, we had Dan and Shay before they were Dan and Shay. We had Chris Lane before he was Chris Lane. We had a bunch of people on the show. I'm actually...
Coast to Coast AM motto.
Dan and Shay wasn't on the show. They were here to record something else, actually.
Well, you had Slick Rick before it was Slick Rick.
That's right.
We've had a bunch of country artists in here. So that's what we got to do again.
Didn't Harry have Michael Bublé at one point or something, and he passed on him?
Live from Studio 6B on a Monday, March 17th, brand new week. Happy St. Patty's Day. Slick's here is doing sports. Delgado's going to do some news. Nolan's going to do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. 47 of you so far have started to fill out your bracket, signed up for the LFS6B Oddsmakers 25 March Madness Challenge. And we hope more of you do. Should I pay more than... Should I give more than the top 3 for March? Should we do top 10?
I think it should be top 10.
That's
you think top 10?
I think it should be top 10 if we get over 300 entries.
Oh, percentage of entries. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get in there.
If we get over 300 entries, we'll pay 10 spots. I keep saying pay. We'll give 10 spots free merch.
And I think if one of us win, we pick our favorite.
No, you don't want to pick a favorite, Paul. The rest of the audience, all the audience has love for you. You're going to pick one over all the others?
No, like for me, like if I win my bracket, I want to give it to somebody in the chat who's always nice.
Okay. That's fair.
That's
what are you going to say to all the other people that you didn't pick?
I'm just going to lie.
He's going to say, forget about it.
Tough noogies.
All right, we now have 51 of you in there, so we need to get that number up. Paul says 300 is the number to get a 10-spot merch.
Speaking of numbers, only 224 likes.
What's the number for a top 5 spot? 200?
That sounds fair.
You know what? I like that.
Or 150, since it's half?
No, I think we should go every 100 add to it.
Yeah, because remember, you just announced it. So
just say top 10.
Poor guys have to pick their brackets.
Just leave it top 10 no matter how many numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's best.
You're going to do a bracket, Delgado?
Of course.
Well,
Delgado's already got a bracket, doesn't it? Is this you?
No, I haven't started one.
I see Rick...
They're probably imposters.
I see Rick Delgado something or other already in here. Someone's using your name, yeah.
Damn it.
Okay, very good. It's not you. At least I know that. All right, let's do some...
Yeah, I was asking how I'm supposed to sign up.
Oh, true. Good point. All right, let's do some news. And here with the news is the man who's going to sign up and do a bracket, and that would be Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the big story from over the weekend, of course, is the judge who ordered deportation flights of Venezuelan gang members to return.
Yeah.
That is the big story, as of course, the judge who had ordered that is now, believe it or not, Trump is making a move on the judge, or I should say the DOJ, because the judge who ordered those deportation flights of the Venezuelan gang members to return to the U.S., James Boasberg, he issued that order on Saturday, halting President Trump's rapid deportation of Venezuelan gang members. Texas GOP Representative Brandon Gill, the new great representative out of Texas, swiftly announced plans to file articles of impeachment in order to remove the judge. Gill made the announcement on X, formerly Twitter, later on Saturday, noting he'd be filing the motion this week. In a subsequent tweet from Elon Musk, the entrepreneur turned Trump advisor, responded, simply necessary. The very worst judges Those who repeatedly flout the law should at least be put to an impeachment vote. Whether the vote succeeds or not must follow it in a separate post. Republicans have been piling on Boasberg after he issued a 14-day restraining order halting the Trump administration from deporting violent Venezuelan gang members who entered the U.S. illegally via powers laid out in the centuries-old Alien Enemies Act. Last used during World War II, the Alien Enemies Act was implemented in advance of a potential war with French at the time. Due to the fears that immigrants would sympathize with France, the law provides the president broad powers to imprison and deport non-citizens during a time of war. Another day, another judge unilaterally deciding policy for an entire country, says Chuck Grassley. He, the senator, chair out of the Senate Judiciary Committee, he posted, if the Supreme Court or Congress doesn't fix, we're headed towards a constitutional crisis. Senate Judiciary Committee will be taking action, it says here. Boasberg's ruling came in response to a suit filed by the ACLU and left-wing advocacy group Democracy Forward. The lawsuit alleged that Trump's intent to use the wartime authority to deport dangerous illegals was unlawful, since it hurts their feelings, and since the U.S. is not in the midst of a declared war. I added the feelings part. The lawsuit followed a proclamation signed by Trump on Saturday, which alleged that the violent gang members belonging to the Venezuelan-based gang were conducting irregular warfare and undertaking hostile actions against the United States. Last month, Trump moved to designate a slew of Mexican drug cartels, including TDA, as foreign terrorist organizations. So there you have it. Now it's about time some of these activist judges kind of get put in the crosshairs themselves because, and Damon, you've pointed out plenty of times, these guys come from these small districts and decide, hey, I'm going to have a policy that controls the entire country.
Well, this guy Boasberg is a real Trump hater. We know that. He's been involved with all kinds of stuff. That the TDS coming from this guy is overwhelming. But the problem we have in this country of judicial tyranny right now with these guys who put on these robes and think all of a sudden that they somehow are elected, or they somehow no pun intended, trump the powers of the presidency. I mean, this order, this order is, well, first of all, a couple things about the order. Number one, it is, I don't even know what the word is. Rich is not the word. Stunning is not the word. Pathetic may be a word. It is fascinating, maybe that's the best word, to watch the media actually argue why killer gang members are being flown out and the technicalities of it, and arguing against actually getting rid of them. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Oh, yeah.
Actually arguing in the press briefing room today with Caroline Leavitt, trying to get into the technicalities of, well, it was a written order, it was a vocal order, it was this order. Who are they? Do we know? How do you know? Who are... let's start with this. They're here illegally, number one. Can we all agree to that, or we can't even agree to that? And then she reads off the records of the killings, the rapings, the trafficking, the this, the that, the this. And they're, well, but how do you know? How do you this? What is this? Can you give us their names? Can you give it? Like they want to cross-check.
Right, we'll sort it out while they're in prison over there.
Yeah, but this guy, maybe he should come. Really? You're going to argue that any of these people should be here? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's the Democrat Party. We have the Democrat Party now on record and in the media actively supporting criminal killers, rapists, murderers, and it's for all to see. Again, it's glorious because all you have to do is sit back and watch them eat themselves. They are so TDS'd out that they can't even recognize, you know what, maybe we're on the 2% side of this particular topic.
This is a 95.5 issue.
It's 98.2.
And the thing about it is the fact that the media continues to pump out the stories, they keep repeating it over and over, wrap up smear, and then the same big, loud, goofy voices just don't stop. And they double down, triple down, and they don't know when to fold a losing hand.
Right.
And it's laughable. It's amazing. It's absolutely comical.
It's amazing to watch because all normal thinking Americans are like, well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And the more that they fight it, the more it brings it to light that these people do not care about the American people.
They
only care about hating Trump.
That's
right.
it.
They don't care if it's good for the country or not for it serves their purpose and it's their problem.
Yeah, they're pro losing war.
Right.
Because they hate Trump so much. They want to see another million Ukrainians maimed and murdered in the name of defying Trump's orders. This is how far their lunacy has gone.
Yeah, but meanwhile, they can't even remember
win that war.
They can't even say the name Lake and Riley. But they can rattle off Trade de Gaulle members like they're coming over for a Sunday meal.
Did you see that? And now they got to brainwash everyone with Elon derangement syndrome. Right. The story that came out in USA Today was a full-blown fabrication that Elon claimed that he said that Hitler didn't kill millions of people. You want to talk about like the greatest stretch of lies that they create a story and then one place picks it up, the next place picks it up, and all the goofiest lefties are all regurgitating the same dumb echo chamber lie, and it doesn't stop. And now they think they're virtue signaling that way again, and everybody's Hitler.
Right,
everybody's evil.
But that story quickly dies because, again, it can't handle the scrutiny of daylight. I mean, everybody gets on X and everybody can sit there and be like, no, that's a lie. Here's the real clip. Yeah. It's like the Very Fine People hoax.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't stop.
If you haven't seen the Department of Justice Pam Bondi, her response, the motion that they filed, this was, I guess, filed today. Yeah, 3/17. I don't know the time. It's only a 6-page response. But they brilliantly go back and look at this own court's jurisdiction back in 2003 when the Landmark Legal Foundation, under the direction then of one Mark Levin, litigated a 2003 case against the EPA. And what came out of that case was that the requirement for a written order was what was needed. An oral spoken, which you heard that, well, he said it before he wrote it.
Right.
No good. And not to give you the whole 6 pages, but Pam Bondi says today in her response, plaintiffs cannot use these proceedings to interfere with the president's national security and foreign affairs authority, and the court lacks jurisdiction to do so. In response to the plaintiff's filing and this court's order setting a hearing for this afternoon, the government submits the below response. Because it provides the necessary information to confirm the government's compliance and represents the full extent of what counsel is authorized to share with the public, the court should vacate the hearing and de-escalate the grave incursions on executive branch authority that have already arisen. I mean, in other words, pipe down there, pal. You don't put the black robe on and all of a sudden become the most powerful person here in the land. And they refer specifically, this district has a long followed the principle of an oral order is not sufficient. See Landmark Legal Foundation versus EPA 2003. Quote, an injunction does not become an injunction until it is reduced to writing. And that principle holds especially true when the court does issue a written order, but phrases it more narrowly. In that event, the written order controls. So quite a little 6-page response here, well put together. I'm sure if not Landmark Levin himself probably brought this to the president's attention right away to go back and look at this 2003 case. And this is signed by Pam Bondi, U.S. Attorney General, Todd Blanche. Keep an eye on Todd Blanche and the stuff he's going to do. I think it's going to be very important. Assistant Associate Attorney General and so on, her whole crew over there. 6 pages. It's worth the read if you haven't seen it. It's a scorching letter to the judge to basically say, hey, calm down, pal, which I don't assume he will.
Right.
I don't assume he will.
Yeah, the Justice Department attorneys, as you're noting there, added that an oral directive is not enforceable as an injunction. Written orders are crucial because they clarify the bounds of permissional conduct. So in other words, either write it down or it don't count.
Yeah, exactly. All right, anything else in the news that I've got right now?
Tons to get through, but we don't have a lot of time. Severe weather, of course, killing 30-plus people through the United States, according to this, from AccuWeather, from Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, 6 people in Mississippi, some people in Texas, as well as Oklahoma. Storms blew through the past 3 days, bringing large hail, tornadoes, and flooding to more than 20 states and affecting millions of people. At least 6 deaths and 29 injuries were being reported in Mississippi as early as Saturday into Sunday. The outlet said an Alabama man lost his home as well. A lot of terrible things we're seeing in some of the news footage. But, hopes and prayers to everybody suffering out there.
All right, we'll do some more news with Delgado, news with Paul Nolan, more sports with Slick. Go make sure you sign up for our March Madness bracket. It's pinned at the top of our Twitter at LFS6B on X. Go to our profile, click on the link, and fill out your bracket. We'll do a numbers check on how many brackets we have when we get back right after this. Yeah, do we have one that's 16 by 9? Isn't the other one like regular TV?
It was, but it was 3 minutes long, and I didn't. But this was, worth the B-roll. Even now, I just don't understand how anybody can argue this. I still don't understand how these wackadoodles can argue that that Doge is a bad thing. Wait, freeloaders on my taxpayer dollar? We're worried about them. Doesn't the government put small businesses out of business every day, and now we're gonna worry about them? Wackos,
Wacko doodles,
wackadoodle. I mean, COVID knocks out every mom and pop shop, and now these.
We have 100 brackets. We just went to 100.
So top right now. What do we got?
Wow!
Top 3 now.
Nice. That was quick. Come on, let's get some more going. We got to be at 200 tonight before we go to bed.
So Delgado says 10 no matter what. Which
I say 10
I don't
no
really
matter
get, but that's fine. I don't care.
Wants to give away the house.
We want to
What?
motivate.
Come on, Delgado. Make these people work for it.
We got a lot of
I
people.
say right now at 100 we do still top 3 only.
Is there an
200 we go? I think 200 we go 5, and 300 we go 10.
500 we give away tickets for dinner and come out to the show. You got
but what if we're at 250 or
Well,
267?
give tickets to who though?
The big winner, the number one winner, should get 2 nice tickets for dinner and tickets to the show. I'm talking big number one winner. That's if we have 500 in the bracket. What show? One of our LFS6B shows. We could do
Give the winner like a trip here.
Yeah, and I'll buy them a steak sandwich. That's a dinner. They can sit down with us. We'll have steak sandwiches. That'd be.
We're gonna pay for their flight to get here.
No, they got to get there. They got their own transportation. I don't.
Well, what kind of a package is that?
Yeah,
Somebody could be coming from Botswana. I don't know. I mean, they watch the show all over the world here. I'm not going to pay for tickets from
American Express
Botswana.
Black for like 5 minutes.
What?
Give me the American Express Black for like 5 minutes. I'll make the reservations. I'll give it back to you.
Hold on, I got to make a carbon copy of it.
You'll never know.
You know what?
The Americans just.
You know what? Skip a steak
Don't leave
sandwich.
Norm
and use
without
that.
it.
Huh?
Skip a steak sandwich, and you can use the money from the steak sandwich to pay for the flight.
Steak
American
sandwich?
Express?
Steak sandwich.
Don't leave
Steak
Norm
sandwich.
without it.
Steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. We have now 101.
Those steak sandwiches were a killer.
Dr. Rosen.
Dr. Rosen.
Those are ribeyes. Come on,
Rosen
big
beef.
Gino
Dr. Rosen.
ribeyes.
Where am I? In the records room. Did I get you anything? Beatles' White Album.
First pressing.
It's seriously it's the greatest movie ever. It really is. Reserve time, Doc? All right, live from Studio 6B. It's Monday, on a Monday.
Yes.
Thank you. Hope you had a great weekend. We're going to be a busy week. Friday, live from the America's First Warehouse. And then maybe by the second or third Friday, we'll start having a live audience. I have some good ideas for a live audience, what we can do. Get you and Vinnie Mac out there maybe in the audience with a microphone. Have some... You'd be good on your feet out there, right?
Oh,
Slick?
yeah, sure. I'd love that.
Okay, so we'll do some giveaways. We'll have some
I love the
merch
people, you know.
there. Will you sign some merch?
Absolutely.
We'll throw it out in the crowd?
Come on.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, very good.
We're there for the people.
He'll have his potato gun with a T-shirt and he'll slam somebody in the head.
I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't hit somebody in the face with a mic like they did to the president the other day. Yeah, that was,
Speaking of hit someone with a mic, you see the girl that got hit with her head with a baton?
Oh, yeah. We talked
Well,
about
it was an accident, Paul. We talked about it.
That was a big protest over the weekend,
There's a
too.
protest in her favor.
Yeah, we're going to pass on that story, but you're right. There was a big protest over the weekend. I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so... All right, Paul Nolan is here. Mr. Nolan, first of all, how are you?
I'm well.
Okay, let's go. What's in the news that's caught your attention?
Well, I thought what Bukele did today with bringing in his, all these prisoners to his super penitentiary. It's a good business deal for everybody involved. So that was something I thought was somewhat, interesting. I also thought this was interesting that Dershowitz says that. Some of the videos we can roll this, Aaron, that they put out on these criminals arriving back there are pretty. Well, he looks like a dove.
Yeah, we can argue that he should maybe. Well, we got to find out who. Yeah, who? Well,
Is that Danny Trejo?
Who?
What is this?
We got to just make sure we know who these are because maybe they should be allowed to come back.
I mean, maybe they should start a babysitting clinic. The daycare center, these guys.
Yeah, why don't the reporters who are worried? Why don't they take them and see how nice they are?
Look at this.
Yeah, move them in,
and then just decide if you think they should stay.
Yeah, let them stay at your house for a couple years until they go through the whole process.
Until they get on their feet,
Right. Yeah, and then if we vet them out properly, then they could.
Or you vet them. Yeah, you do it since you don't trust the way we're doing it.
Nice boys.
It's crazy.
Now, where is this? Do we know where this is?
This is down in El Salvador.
Is El Salvador? That's what I thought.
Yeah, President Bukele built a super prison down there, so
they don't mess around.
It's good business for everyone.
Yeah.
No, he has not messed around since he took over.
Yeah.
He has absolutely not.
No nonsense.
So I don't know if you saw this, but Alan Dershowitz said that on Monday that challenges to former President Joe Biden's auto pen for bills and pardons will end up in court. So I think this is pretty interesting.
Who said this? Dershowitz?
Dershowitz said it on John Solomon Reports podcast on Monday that there are a couple problems with the auto pen that could arise in court. He said they will end up in court or they're going to be two issues. One, the nature of what was signed. Was it a pardon or was it a bill from a Congress, for example? Second, the nature of the auto pen. So just in general, he finds it might just be null and void right out of the gate. First, the nature of what was signed. If it was a bill, here's what the Constitution says. If he approves, he shall sign it. So it says sign it. And so an auto pen would raise a real problem if he signed it by auto pen, which is not a real signature. Pardons, it does not say anything about signing it. It says he shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons. So I think the people who will try to sustain the pardons would argue, look, he can pardon orally. Therefore, it doesn't matter whether he uses the pen or not. He said that the issue, but it will still raise the issue, did he actually pardon or did somebody else write the signature without really getting approval from President Biden? We know there were mental health issues there, so there will be issues about did he actually approve the pardon? And if he did, probably the nature of the signature won't count. So I found that to be a little on the interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting because I talked about this morning streaming, and I just think it's such a hard case to make. And the president's tweet this morning sent everybody into a tizzy, just stating that they're now null and void, of course, which I would figure the litigation that would have to go into this to actually make them null and void. But I think the president sometimes, as I said this morning, he puts these out as kind of like a to get people's minds focused where he thinks they should be focused on. And most of us are already there with him. Obviously, we know these pardons were a joke. And we know when push comes to shove, Biden probably had no idea. And somebody probably did do it. But and I think it's a case worth trying to make. I just think making it and actually getting these to be null and void is going to be almost impossible.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to prove. I mean, they could cite the Robert Hur report, the special counsel, referring to Joe Biden as an elderly man with a poor memory. But would that be enough? We're not sure.
Unless you had, you had an insider that really rolled over and came with some kind of. I don't know. I think the plenary power of the pardon for the presidency is so absolute. I just don't see how it could. But Dershowitz, he obviously knows way more about it than me. I think he makes some interesting points there, but as it comes to the pardons, if he says it doesn't say that in the specific wording there, it doesn't sound like the door is open as much as it may be on a regular bill where it says he shall sign it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, what else, Paul?
Well, this is from the Rolling Stone, the ultra-liberal rag. I figured I'd give you the story from there. White House celebrates St. Patty's Day with fighter found guilty of civil rape. This is how they frame this one. And I have
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Aaron, I have this clip I sent you. Donald Trump celebrated St. Patrick's Day on Monday by inviting Irish UFC star Conor McGregor to the White House. McGregor has long been subject of controversy and a few months ago was found liable for rape in a civil case in Ireland. Trump lauded McGregor last week when he was asked to name his favorite Irish person while taking questions alongside the nation's Prime Minister, Michael Martin, at the White House. I'd happen to like your fighter, he said. He's got the best tattoos I've ever seen. Conor's great, right? So if you got the clip, Aaron, let's show him what...
She doesn't have a clip, but which one is it, Paul? Because there's many clips of him today.
This is the one where he's on the right there. That one. He really gives the business here.
Yeah, this is where he was in the press briefing room, and the reporters were asking him questions, almost trying to goad him a little bit, but he handled it well. Here's a little bit of it.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
Yeah. So, and by the way, this is not new to him. He's been on this for a couple years.
Yep.
He's been very outspoken in the media about the need for this to be addressed and how out of hand it is and how the Irish government has done the people wrong. Kind of like what Biden did here, overrunning the border. But there, they feel it obviously much more. It's a much small,
They've been at it a long time.
Yeah. So he's been on this for a long time. Here's a little bit of him and the president in the Oval Office, where he says to Trump, I think he says something like, your work ethic is inspiring. Here's a little bit of that.
Guys, pinstripe suit, it's one of my own. I can get you what I do. Congratulations. I tell you what, your work ethic is inspiring. Your work rate is inspiring. Appreciate it.
There you go.
And to me, what's funny of this Rolling Stone, the whole entire thing becomes a massive hit piece on Trump and McGregor about how he likes to hang out with rapists. So the way the disgusting media continues to, frame everything in such a way, I just instead of the substance of the argument, they just go after the ad hominem attacks.
Yeah, so. And he did announce he was thinking about running for president of Ireland in 2025, and guess what? Oh, well, then let's hit him up with a rape charge and get him convicted so we can pull him out.
Yeah,
as soon as he made that mention, all of a sudden it's like, oh, nope, we got you on rape. So,
yeah, I mean, outsiders aren't allowed in.
All right, it's a wrap on Hour 1, Hour 2. Coming up, live from Studio 6B right after this. Did you not get it, or you just...
All right, so I'm going to try... Could you tell me what I'm doing wrong then? Because it says here I sent it to you.
Yeah, I don't know. May not be.
So
you know what? Let me check. Did you check your spam?
So then they update the thing, and it's got all mail.
Yeah, I hate what...
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Is that possibly why this is happening?
123 brackets now.
Come on.
123.
All right, that's not bad in 1 hour.
Good start.
A good pickup.
Good start.
Well,
Chat. What's going on in the chat?
You need a good half hour to fill it out.
You have 3 super chats, Drag Blacker says.
Okay, well, let's get over to the YouTube.
Oh, come on, Slick Rick. Let's get to him, baby.
You think we were doing a live show here or something? All right, LSU Patriot. Not sure if Damon realizes how much the show means to so many of us. Hope to share my LFS 6B/Rav story with you guys one day. Great show so far, y'all. LSU Patriot. $5 super chat. That's the one that I see, Big D.
Okay, very good.
LSU Patriot, great contribute. Every night he gives us money. It's fantastic.
Yeah, super. Just so kind. Everybody appreciate it so much.
And I believe he is going to follow up on his commitment. He lives in NOLA, apparently, so he's going to be flying up from New Orleans.
Becky Snyder on YouTube. We are here, Damon. Okay?
They are there. Okay. YouTube's.
Very good.
The YouTube.
Becky, we're good. She knows we are.
How do YouTubes?
Damon ×3. Damon X3. Huskies in your Final Four? No. I'm a realist. I love my Huskies, 2-time defending champs, but no, not this year. Could they go on a run? I think they absolutely could.
No.
But I actually don't even think I have them coming out of their first game.
Wow. You're really down on them, huh?
Who are they playing?
St. Francis Prep, something like that.
UConn is playing out of the West, I believe. Yeah, they play Oklahoma.
Oh,
yeah,
they may not win that game.
I got Oklahoma.
They may not win that game.
Oklahoma.
I got Oklahoma taking out UConn and Florida obviously taking out Norfolk State. And then the second round, I got Florida taking out Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
I think Florida's got a chance
to
take it
all.
all.
Yeah. They looked good yesterday.
Well, I mean,
that Tennessee game wasn't close.
That's not a stretch to say. They're probably the most well-rounded team in college basketball.
Tennessee, they cut it to 5 yesterday, but that game really was never really in doubt. That was Florida does look good, the Gators. You're right, Rick.
All right, hour 2 live from Studio 6B, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing some news. Paul Nolan's got some news as well. Here in hour 2, Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. So, I usually try to watch the Sunday morning shows. So, you don't have to because most of you I know have standards. And so I try to watch it for you. And I have to say, besides watching the media argue for criminal gang members and why they should somehow be defended by them and questioned whether they should be flown out of the country, the other thing that I've really enjoyed watching the Sunday shows this weekend was to try to see the Democrats defend their party. And it's becoming more and more of a thing where the media is actually forced to actually have to confront it because there was a poll, David Catrone today in the American Spectator. The Democrat Party is collapsing. And I mean, that may be a little bit of a stretch, but maybe not. As you see Kristen Welker on Meet the Depressed confronting my old high school friend, Chris Murphy, and Murphy having no idea really where to go. And what's so funny is they're asked about, this poll came out. 2 national polls, actually, if you're not aware, were released on Sunday, revealing that the Democratic Party's favorability ratings have plunged to the, catastrophic lows, as they were described. The NBC News survey, which, of course, this is the one Kristen Welker confronted him with on Sunday morning, had the Democrats' approval rating at 27% of registered voters hold a positive view of the Democratic Party. That's the lowest rating since 1990. New CNN poll indicates that only 29% of U.S. adults regard the party favorably. That's a low not seen since 1992. The two polls confirm an equally ominous Quinnipiac survey conducted last month.
So much winning.
And it's what's so funny is when you see Democrats on the Sunday shows confronted with this poll, they give an answer that basically says, yes, we're aware of them, and what we need to do now going forward to fix it is double down on what we've been doing for the last 4 years.
In other words, it's our messaging. It's our messaging.
It's basically what they say.
Right. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Let's still push on all these hills we're going to die on of 10%, while the other 90% is looking at us going, okay, really?
I think one of the best lines I heard. The left has gotten so repetitive. It's like one of those car horn alarms that kees going off, and everyone just walks by it and ignores it now because they can't get it to stop.
Right. Yeah,
it's laughable. It's great.
Catrone says both surveys clearly illuminate why the public harbors such a low opinion of the Democrats and why it's very unlikely to change. The NBC poll, for example, found the following. Democrat voters say they want their party to hold the line on their positions, even if it leads to gridlock, rather than focus on finding areas of some kind of compromise with the president. The CNN survey suggests that a similarly suicidal perspective pervades in the party. Democrats and Democratic-aligned independents say 57% to 42% that Democrats should mainly work to stop the Republican agenda rather than working with the GOP majority. It's really stunning. It means that for all intents and purposes, the Democratic Party exists for no other reason other than to oppose President Trump, the GOP, and the 80 million Americans who voted for them last November.
And our amusement.
Yeah. It seems that if that seems like hyperbole, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut explicitly just said on Sunday mornings, Meet the Press with Kristen Welker, and she said to him, our new NBC poll, as you just saw, shows your party at an all-time low approval rating. Why do you think Democrats are failing to connect with Americans? In response to that question, here was what Chris Murphy said. I think Americans want the Democratic Party to stand up and fight and to take risks. Listen, I understand that. Had we gone into a shutdown, even for a handful of days, it would have been difficult. But it would have sent a message that the Democratic Party is not going to be bullied by Donald Trump. That is the conversation that has to happen inside our party, he said, inside our caucus. And if we don't get that right, if we continue to work with Republicans, if we continue to hand Donald Trump more power, we're going to lose our democracy. Of course, their favorite word, democracy.
It's their bureaucracy. That's what they're afraid of losing.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And David Catrone says it's funny because characters like Murphy remain among the most viable representatives of the Democratic Party. It will inevitably go the way of the Whigs. And it gets worse. As it happens, the CNN poll asked Democratic-aligned representatives and respondents which leader best reflects your core values, quote unquote.
Oh, good.
New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came out on top.
Yes.
With 10%, followed by former Vice President Kamala Harris at 9%.
A couple geniuses.
Yeah. And then running in third, of course, is the old red communist Bernie Sanders at 8%. Those are your top three of respondents in the party that say they align the most with.
Yeah.
Now I saw that poll, the one that you're talking about, and the one that's not being mentioned was the top vote getter, Damon. Was no one. 20-something% there was no one. They'd rather no one lead that party, basically. So the people with faces and names and actual pulses, they didn't like. They wanted a non-entity as the top vote getter. That's what it tells you about the Democrat Party.
Well, the Democrat Party is so disgusted overall. Their biggest donors are just disgusted that they forced Kamala, onto them, and they wanted a full process to bring in their candidate, and that was pushed on them. And the most Democrats are disgusted, and they're not coming up with money. In fact, a lot of Democratic donors are kind of coming over to MAGA.
And what's interesting when you say that, I was listening to, I forget what station it was, but they were talking about Democrats and who they think they're going to run. They're going to run. They're not saying who's going to come out of the field. They're saying the Democrats would be making a mistake if they ran Kamala again. Kamala can run. It doesn't mean she's going to win the primary. She's not going to just because she's running doesn't mean she's the automatic candidate. That's the way it sounds when you hear these people talk.
Yeah,
and it's almost like You can send up anybody you want, Democrats, because they're going to pick the one that they want. And if they want to run Kamala again, they will pick her, and your vote means nothing.
Yeah, well, to me, remember all that talk about Michelle Obama?
Right.
She was going to be the big sweeping force that was going to knock Trump out. Have you seen the numbers on her podcast?
Oh, they're terrible.
It's laughable. What did she have? I think there was like something about 2,000 comments, and apparently like 1,800 of them were negative, and the other 200 were bots. This is the big threat the Democratic Party has up their sleeve, Big Mike. All right.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be Gavin Newsom anymore either, because Gavin Newsom started a podcast. Are you guys aware of this?
Yes.
Trying to be hip and cool.
Greasy Gavin.
And he had, and I listened to every word of it. He had Steve Bannon on.
I saw it too. What'd you think of that?
I mean, I think if you're going to have Bannon on, you should be prepared to try to be able to get a word in edgewise and do a little. I mean, Bannon just schooled him.
It was honestly,
it was so. I mean, it was enjoyable.
It was like a cat with a dead mouse.
I mean, Bannon was just. Newsom tried to get a word in edgewise,
and Bannon went easy on him.
Oh, for sure. And Newsom now is taking.
He's getting it from both sides.
It has backfired so beautifully on Newsom. He's taken all kinds of heat from his own party on how he could possibly have him on.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's almost nobody politically smarter and more informed than Bannon is.
Well, he was taking heat last week when he had Charlie Kirk on.
I mean, Bannon's brilliant and just schooled Slick Willie there, who tried to get hip with some of the things I love how they, we agree on that. Oh, yeah, we agree on that. Yeah. And Bannon's like, no. And it just went on and on. It was like an hour and 15 minutes of send out somebody to check on the governor, please. And he tries to act, hey, well, I'm glad we agree. Thanks for doing this, Steve. It was good. I mean, he just got slapped around like Bannon's just way too much.
Of course, you can click and listen and make sure you get my hair gel on the way out.
Yeah, but he's just getting crushed by his side, which is just so amusing. Is he's trying to? I don't know. I guess he's trying to just
Bannon did everything in his power to keep him in the conversation. Bannon was so good to him. Bannon could have blown him out of the water on every issue whatsoever. He was so gentle with him.
Anytime he tried to push back with some perspective from the other side, Bannon just jumped in and said, "No, wait." And then he went for another 10 minutes, and the governor's sitting there.
I know. I didn't read about that.
Yeah, it was good. You should listen to the whole thing if you didn't see it. It was really good. So, all right, what time is it? Can't see whatever it is. 10 minutes past the hour. Let's do some sports since we skipped it last segment. Here with sports is Rick Delgado. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slick's got it. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, well, Rory McIlroy beats J.J. Spawn in playoff to win Players Championship.
My guy.
Big day for the Irishman.
Rory.
Yeah, Rory's your man, huh? AP report, Big D, Ponte Vedra, Florida. Here we go. Turns out Rory McIlroy needed only 3 good swings to win the Players Championship on Monday in the playoff over J.J. Spawn. McIlroy blasted his opening tee shot and hit a pitching wedge to the par 5 16th to set up birdie, and then he found the island green at the par 3 17th with a 9-iron, Big D, into a cold, crackling win at TPC Sawgrass that effectively gave him his second title at golf's richest event.
Yeah, and the guy he was playing, Spawn dumped it in the back of the pond there on 17, and he said, I just could not believe. He said, I actually thought it was short as I hit it and watched it. He says, never as that ball was in the air did I ever think it could possibly be long.
Yep, unbelievable. McIlroy became the 8th multiple winner of the Players' Championship, having also won in 2019, and it's the first time in his career he has won twice heading into the Masters. He won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am last month. The first 3-hole playoff in 10 years at the Players was caused by a 4-hour rain delay Sunday. McIlroy had to make a 4-foot par putt on the 72nd hole. Spawn had a 30-foot birdie putt for the win that stopped inches short. McIlroy, disappointed at having lost 3-shot lead on the back 9, looked ahead to the playoff off saying, make 5 good swings tomorrow morning and get this thing done. And get it done he did, Big D. So good win for Rory McIlroy.
My man.
Big D's main man. So I got a little rodeo, too, now. We got the, obviously, the big...
get it on.
Come on, let's go. Rodeo Houston. Real quick, NRG Stadium. I'll get you a couple out of Houston, Texas. Bareback riding, Paul. We're all the way in Super Series 5. Come on. Clay Jorgensen, 86.5 points on Calgary Stampedes. Born Fearless picked up $3,000. I think I can get the steer wrestling in as well. We got Chance Howard, 4.9 seconds. Picked up another $3K. I'm going to keep pushing it with the team. Roping. And here we go. Super Series 5th round. Derek B. Gay and Coulter Todd. 6 seconds flat. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Hopping back to you.
How come he started sounding like Eric Cartman?
This is usually the last segment of the show.
No, come on. We got to get the rodeo.
Slick's got his IV of caffeine going early in the second half.
I have no caffeine in me.
All right, 13 past the hour. We're back with news of Rick Delgado right after this.
Nobody does the rodeo next time.
Just thinking about the opening segment when you asked me about the Epstein files and I start pontificating. You're like, so what are you saying? We're not going to see anything. I'm so hopeful that I just want these oligarchs to get taken down. I just want what everybody else wants. I want these people who think they're above the law to face some consequence for their absolutely abhorrent behavior.
Yes. Okay. That's the only way it's going to work.
LSU Patriot, $2 super chat. Delgado's been short on the alien stories lately. Yeah, Delgado, you've been coming up a little slow. Come on.
There's been so much. You know what? Trump he even dominates space.
Yeah, he does.
Pat Nelly, I didn't see that, man. If you're following me on Twitter, send me a clip because that's the conspiracy stuff. I gets my blood pumping. Drag queen is at it again. Paul is getting desperate. Drag queen's got it out for me, boy.
Why are you getting desperate? What'd you do?
I don't know, but he's like one of those
Does
guys.
he come after you every once in a while?
I think Damon's negative. This guy's a crybaby.
But you got love
girl.
from
I think it's a girl drag black. My bad.
Paul,
I didn't mean to misgender you, drag queen.
You got love from Ruby Ivy, though.
Of course, Ruby's a sweetheart.
Yeah, at Papa
and she has a high IQ. That's why we get along.
She says, glad you are here. Wish you were on every night.
Ooh.
Ruby Ivy. Come on, man.
Ruby Ivy.
Set my alarm clock to that.
Hello.
Give me the grilled cheese and tomato soup and Papa Nolan. I'm ready to go. Come on.
Drag queen just looked down his pants, said I'm a male, so good to know. He took a sneaky peek.
Yeah.
He wasn't sure what was down there after all these years.
It sounds tentative.
I just assumed he was having one of those monthly cycle things, the way he's always crying.
Speaking of crying, you have a read here, Damon.
And monthly cycles.
Just one?
Just one.
Oh my God, it's already 9:17.
Becky Snyder, we're going after. I think who's first on our list? I'm saying Bill Slick Willie Clinton.
$144. House on like the blues to start the week on a Monday. Let me talk to you about our friends at Birch Gold. You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat's already sinking. Duh. You don't go buy gold when the economy's already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hits all-time highs in the first part of 2025. I think it just hit another all-time high a couple days ago, I believe. It's not too late for you, though. Company that you can trust to diversify into physical gold is Birch Gold. It's the company you can buy your gold from. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. Just listen to some of the 5-star reviews they've received. Knowledgeable, helpful, not pressured. That's what you get with Birch Gold, and that's why Rav has endorsed them for so long. Get your free information kit on gold right now by texting the word America. That's it. Just text the word America, type it out, America, and send it to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews. Text the word America to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Text America to 989898. All right, 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We just did sports, so we usually do sports here, but now we'll do news. And here with the news, since we have a guest coming up at 9:30, we'll do the news with Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, David. Well, I know you were talking about the great poll showing how great the Democrats are doing, of course, with their sterling 27% approval rating across the board, while CNN's Harry Enton had another poll, this one aimed in a different direction, with Doge and Trump as the main runners of the numbers here. Check this out, as CNN is having to admit what Democrats don't want to see here. This is cut number one, CNN's poll with Harry Enton on Doge and Trump approval. Check this out.
CNN's Harry Enton joins me now to talk more about how people are feeling about, when we're talking about the cuts that Doge is bringing about. How are they feeling about it?
Yeah, this to me was one of the more shocking figures that I saw. Made me go, wait a minute, hold on one second. Whoa, Americans on Trump and Joe's efforts. Musk and Doge should influence government spending and operations. Look at
Relax,
this.
Harry.
54%. The majority say that he and they should. How about approve of Trump trying to cut staff at government agencies? Again, you get a majority here. 51%. So yeah, Elon Musk might not be that popular, but these cuts and the idea of spending cuts, at least within the federal government and cutting at government agencies, that actually has majority support. I was truly surprised by this, Kate, but the numbers are the numbers.
Yeah, and as I've said many a time, numbers don't lie, people do.
I was truly surprised by this. Really? You're surprised that people think waste, fraud, and abuse? I mean, come on with these people. Harry Enton, give me a break.
No, when you consider how much this is getting pushback and negative coverage from all the deep state media, to still have a positive number there looks pretty good, actually. So it means that it's cutting through all the garbage.
I'm not surprised by a positive number at all. Actually, I think it should be higher than 54%. It probably is. That's probably just what they're reporting.
Without a doubt.
Fake reporting. It's probably way higher than that.
There's some polls that showed 80% of people were happy that they're getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Raise your hand if you want to continue to spend your grandkids and their kids into oblivion. I mean, who thinks that's a good idea? Who thinks that, did you hear Musk talking to Ted Cruz saying there's 14 magic money computers that they found around government that just send money out automatically, no human involved, just sends it out.
Really?
Hundreds of billions of dollars, he said, maybe even trillions over the years. He goes, we're calling them the magic money computers, 14 of them. He was on with Ted Cruz on Verdict, which is Ted Cruz's podcast there with, can't remember the other guy's name, Ferguson, I think it is. And he said, yeah, there's these magic money computers that's sending them out. I mean, raise your hand if you're into that. I mean, who's that? What group is that other than the Democrats? But normal people think what's going on is fairly normal. Well, yeah, cut waste, fraud, and abuse. Yeah, stop doing this. Yeah, stop doing that. 54%, Harry Enton. Give me a break.
Yeah.
It's like 84%.
Over at HUD, Secretary Scott Turner said he and Doge have a great relationship and that they've helped identify, I think, about $260 million that is being that was misplaced, and they've identified 1-point-something billion that could be going to help people that actually need help. As he's the Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development. So, you talk about Doge, and I'm telling you, the results will speak for themselves, hopefully, when they turn around and start spending this money where it's supposed to be spent, and people actually see, oh, my goodness, my tax dollars are actually working for me, not against me.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I still think that, like the article in Zero Hedge said, these what they're finding is all well and good to expose it for people to understand it. It's not getting us to any kind of balanced budget. It's not getting us to anything significant. That still has to be done by Congress. We still need them to do their job and balance the budget with 12 spending bills and decide what we stand for, what we don't, and go message it. Doge, for me, is still more of a public relations thing than it is any real cuts that make any kind of difference. It's like moving a thing of sand off the beach. It's like you turn around and you go, oh man, we really haven't done much.
Yeah, but you'd need to convince the people that it's actually worth
I agree.
doing.
I think it's, like I said, I think it's a public relations thing.
It's brilliant because it's exposing all of this, and it shows that the Democrats will do gymnastics, verbal and otherwise, to try and stop all of this grifting being exposed. And when people see that, and they see their person who I voted for this guy all the time. I thought he didn't suck like everybody else sucked. They see how bad he sucks now too, or she sucks, and they think, maybe it's time to replace this person.
Yeah, what we're really seeing though is these people will still continue to die on their hill,
right?
And at some point they have to just come to terms with the fact they were duped.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, well, one more quick one before we get to the break here, Damon, as this is probably my favorite story of the day. Trump revoked Secret Service protection for adult Biden children, Hunter and Ashley. Yes, you heard that correctly, as Donald Trump announced today that former President Joe Biden's adult kids, who really aren't kids, they're people, they're old people at this point. Hunter Biden is almost, I think he can join AARP, as a matter of fact. Will no longer receive U.S. Secret Service protection. In a Truth Social post, he remarked that Hunter Biden has received Secret Service protection for an extended period of time. There are as many as 18 Secret Service members on his detail, which is ridiculous. Please be advised that, effective immediately, Hunter Biden will no longer receive Secret Service protection. Ashley Biden, the Hunter's sister, will have her Secret Service protection revoked as well. He noted that 13 agents were assigned to her detail. We are aware that the president's decision to terminate protection for Hunter and Ashley, the Secret Service announced the Secret Service will comply and actively is working with the protective details and the White House to ensure compliance as soon as possible. Former presidents and their spouses received lifelong Secret Service protection under the law, but protection afforded to their immediate families for any kids over the age of 16 ends when they leave office, though both Trump and Biden extended the details for their children for 6 months before leaving office. So there you have it. We've got, which is pretty significant when you consider that Hunter Biden went off to South Africa and took these 18 Secret Service members with him as part of his protection. So, again, your tax dollars at work, but not for you.
Yeah. I saw someone in the chat say that the Doge money is not just sand off the beach. It's not peanuts. $36 trillion in national debt, $2 trillion yearly deficits, and probably 100, maybe 150 trillion in unfunded liabilities. 500 billion is peanuts. All right, more news, sports, Paul Nolan news, all coming up.
kind of a thing in the middle. Just so people can get a real perspective on why you're right. $1 billion is nothing when you're looking at it side by side.
Yeah, but how do you get to that trillion? You got to keep adding billions and billions, right?
A stadium.
It's not like it just shows up as here's a trillion. Billions have to be added to it to get to that point.
Well, yeah,
and if you do that enough
Rick,
over time,
every journey starts with a step.
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm with you, brother. You're preaching to the choir.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'll take a $500 billion savings every day.
I'm not saying I won't
Stack
take
them
it.
up
I'm just
every
saying
day.
It's not making a material difference.
I think it will.
Oh,
you got to do it
How do
by
you think
year.
500 billion makes it when you're spending $2 trillion every 98 days?
But if you're able to save that and then find another 500 billion and then find another 500 billion, that starts to add up to all of a sudden now you got a $2 trillion savings.
Take a look at this stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No.
Take a peek ski.
What is that?
That's $1 billion. I mean, that's $1 trillion by comparison to the billion. Can you back it up? Show what $1 billion looks like? So if you really want to put it in perspective, is all I'm saying is that's a very respectable neighborhood, $1 million.
Okay, Big D, super chat I got to get to. Eleanor Kulas gave $19.99 for Aaron, I guess she meant Aaron, and Fran for their mozzarella sticks. So
$100 million.
$19.99 there. And Child of the King, 10 live 6B memberships, Big D. And Drake Blacker just had a chat there. $5. Here is $5 for Slick and Delgado's trip to Vegas since Damon refuses to pay on his bets. Hashtag Damon lost the bet XD.
Look at that. Now, that's $1 trillion by comparison to $1 billion. I mean, still.
All right, just keep trying.
Still don't understand why.
Do you think it's us?
Well, that's some cornfield.
That's definitely not good.
I think it's the transition that's happening with Skype.
Oh, that's right. People might not be aware.
Skype has been a nightmare. Let's go. Last few days.
I was on.
Aaron, I sent you another email. Tell me if you got it.
Yeah, I'm just getting an unable to connect message.
That sucks. I don't know what's going on with my email. Let me try it from.
What's the?
Do we have a contact number? Live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour on a Monday night. We're going to effort Dr. James Thorp, who's supposed to be joining us, but we're having some connection issues. So let's do some news with Delgado and Paul Nolan. Delgado's going to start it. What's going on?
All right. Well, big news, breaking news, actually, as Slick Rick just pointed out, the ceasefire is over between Israel and Hamas as Israel strikes Gaza after Hamas refuses to release hostages, according to officials. The airstrikes mark a return to the Israeli military campaign against Hamas following the January 19th start of the ceasefire. It's basically the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas ended just moments ago. The IDF began striking Hamas terrorist targets across Gaza in order to achieve the war objectives set out by the political leadership, including the release of all of our hostages, it says here, in a defense minister letter by Israel Katz. He said, including the release of all hostages, both living and fallen. This decision comes after Hamas repeatedly refused to release our hostages and rejected all proposals presented by the U.S. presidential envoy Steve Witkoff, as well as the mediators. Israel will intensify its military actions against Hamas moving forward, according to authorities. Under the direction of the political echelon, the IDF and Shin Bet are widely attacking terrorist targets of the Hamas terrorist organization throughout the Gaza Strips. More details will follow, but yeah, this is a story that is breaking. Getting this right from the top of Fox News. Again, the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is now over, and the strikes have begun from Israel against Hamas in Gaza as we speak. So,
what a shock!
Yeah. Well, you eventually saw that going to break down at some point.
Yeah, you knew that wasn't going to last. I mean, it's been going on forever. I don't see any.
Yep.
I don't see anything stopping that in the near future.
Terrible.
So.
Yeah.
Back to the same thing.
Well, I don't know if you saw this, but Trump's and Putin to discuss ceasefire on Tuesday. Donald Trump said he plans to meet with Putin via Skype on Tuesday. So he says there's a lot of work was done this past week, and we want to see if we could bring that war to an end. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirmed the planned talks between Russia and Putin. By Trump and Putin while speaking with reporters. Russian official TASS News has reported. So Trump says he foresees a very good chance of reaching a ceasefire deal with Russia. When asked about the expectations regarding Russia's potential concessions in a peace deal, Trump said that the discussions would involve land and power plants. So let's one maybe turns down, the other one goes up. So I don't.
Yeah, he said he's talking to Putin. I guess they're looking at dividing up certain assets. It says here in quotes there, Paul.
Yep.
Negotiators working to end that Russian-Ukraine war discuss dividing up those assets. Trump said on Sunday, as he announced those plans to speak to Putin that you mentioned, his comments come as he announced last week that Ukraine had accepted the 30-day ceasefire. So, again, moving in that direction, President Trump is looking forward to stopping the death. Here is his statement on it from Truth Social. He says, tomorrow morning, I'll be speaking to President Putin concerning the war in Ukraine. Many elements of the final agreement have been agreed to, but much remains. Thousands of young soldiers and others are being killed. Each week brings 2,500 soldiers' death from both sides, and it must end now. I look very much forward to a call with President Putin. And again, that's from Donald Trump's Truth Social account today at 6:28 p.m., so just before showtime. So,
and I don't know if you saw this, but over the weekend, Putin was being interviewed by the president of Croatia, and he said in a lengthy interview that we're not after the rare earth minerals in Ukraine. We're not after all these other countries in Europe. We have no interest in any of that. They have an estimated $80 trillion in rare earth minerals that they want to trade and share with the world. So let's hope maybe we got the media to stop blowing up everything.
All right, we'll get back to the news here in a second. Please welcome to Live from Studio 6B, the Chief of Maternal and Prenatal Health over at the Wellness Company, Dr. James Thorp. Dr. Thorp, welcome to the show. How are you?
Terrific. Thanks for having me on.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. And, measles is back in the news. There's been quite a bit of, I guess you could call it hyperbolic reporting from the mainstream media about the threat of measles. First, is this something to take, not that we don't take it seriously, but is this a serious outbreak? What is the level of concern we should all have?
I think the level of concern is limited. This is being used for propaganda purposes in a large part. If you look at the comments, the X posts, they're all attacking anti-vaxxers. By the way, the majority of the people that have had this, they say they're non-vaccinated, but in fact, they're not. Their vaccine status is unknown. It's well known that patients get measles even after the vaccine. The other really important issue here to keep in mind is that, remember that the vaccine for COVID-19 was given 13 plus billion shots to over 5.3 billion people globally, and it's caused a mass vaccine-associated acquired immune deficiency. In other words, it's caused global immunological incompetence. So this is a lot of the cause, in my opinion, of all, not just measles, but more and more infectious diseases and blood infections and many others.
So just to be clear on what I'm hearing you say, this whole idea that the media pushes of this is somehow linked to vaccine hesitancy, You don't seem to be in alignment with that. And then furthermore, this media hype basically around the issue, in it being some kind of public threat, you're saying more of it's simple propaganda that's being pushed in kind of defense of the kind of biopharmaceutical complex. Do I hear you correctly?
You hear me 100% correctly, loud and clear. Roger that. This is they're using false flag events to push a political agenda, and this is really obscene. But yes, remember, in my generation, we had measles parties, just like we had chickenpox parties. It confers permanent immunological immunity for a lifetime. Now, it's a very sad outbreak in Gaines County in West Texas. There are about 100 cases. What is this related to? I don't believe that it's related to individuals not getting vaccinated. I don't believe that's the only story. There's many other parts to this equation.
Yeah. A couple questions here. Number one, I don't want to use the word disappointed, but how quickly would you like to have seen RFK make a move on banning mRNA vaccines? Number one. And number two, the nomination of Congressman Weldon to serve as director of the CDC came to an end, a surprise to many. Sounds like he was pressured about his vaccine status. Is that what you attribute the nomination being doomed to?
Absolutely. It's now coming out. You probably saw the story breaking that there was collusion between the government and the Congress, in essence, to push this narrative and to eliminate anybody that had any question of the vaccine. This is coming out, and it's a huge scandal. But it's traditional, classic. It is. What's been done before, there's nothing new under the sun, will be done again. This was done after, the same thing after thalidomide. Dr. McBride was attacked voraciously for describing thalidomide. The vaccine-associated complications that were described at the turn of the century by Andy Wakefield, the clear association with the autism spectrum disorder, he was personally attacked and destroyed. So anybody that questions this vaccine ideology are putting themselves in harm's way. I can attest to that myself. Yeah. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm a disabled veteran. I've had more vaccines than you can shake a stick at. But I became aware after the turn of the century that this was a corrupt collusion, racketeering, money laundering operation between the government and between the medical journals, including, the four top medical journals have received over $1 billion to push this narrative. And also the pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical companies, listen to this. This is striking. Per year, $60 billion profits off the vaccines. Just off the vaccines in 1 year. And if that's not bad enough, they reaped another $500 billion with other medications treating the diseases and chronic illnesses that the vaccines caused. This is big money. This is why people are killed, literally murdered and assassinated, either physically or they're professionally, because this is big money.
Yeah. And I guess to that point, my final question is, do you hold any concern, even though the Trump administration is now in place, he's got some of his people in place, do you have any concern that we face a major healthcare crisis that's pushed by, these dark powers that want to continue to push this kind of stuff? Do you still have a fear of that in the next 4 years, 3.5 years?
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Listen, this is exactly what Peter Hotez said in November, right? After January 20th, he listed off 6 diseases that we're going to, and we know that this is exactly what bird flu is. There's bird flu labs. There are high-level bioweapons labs, 3 of them in the United States of America. Scripps in California, one in Athens, Georgia, with the FDA, and one in Wisconsin. And so these 3 labs have done gain of function over the last 10 years. So the H5N1 bird flu now has jumped to 50 different mammalian species. If this goes human to human, which it has not yet, but if it does, this could be a potential disaster. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to push the avian flu vaccines in the birds and in people.
We've been speaking with Dr. James Thorp. He's the chief of maternal and prenatal health at the Wellness Company. Of course, you can visit them at twc.health/voice, twc.health/voice. Their prescription kits, of course, are the gold standard, and they have one for any situation you might find yourself in. twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE for an additional 10% off. Dr. Thorp, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Dr. James Thorp from the Wellness Company. Again, you can go to twc.health/voice, use promo code VOICE for an additional 10% off. And good stuff from the doc, as always, right on the money, right, with definitely. What's going on there.
Yep.
And even though the Trump administration's in place, still some concerns for some people that would consider themselves out of the reach of even the federal government. All right, we'll wrap it up for a Monday when we get back right after this.
He's fantastic.
Alice. Hey.
I know. Especially late. Very good in the late part of the game.
Well, that went fast, man. One segment left.
Yeah, show floods.
Hey.
What?
Broke spoke.
Why? What am I doing?
Is that really hard?
No. Oh, come
on. What? Paul, check your X. I just tagged. Tell me if that's...
$4.99 a pound. Sliced thin.
Let's hear what Jay Billis has to say about your NC getting into the tournament.
It was revealed. I think I'm like most everybody else. I was surprised to see North Carolina make it into the field as an at-large. I expected that they were going to be right there at the bubble. It may be a difficult decision, but I figured teams like Texas or West Virginia, Ohio State, or Indiana would at least go in first. Because North Carolina played a hellacious schedule, but they just didn't win enough against it relative to the other teams that were at the end of the line. And there's always been this mantra with the NCAA tournament of who did you play, who did you beat? No discussion about who Carolina played. They played a great schedule. But did they beat enough teams relative to the other teams at the end of the line? I think the answer was probably no. Every team in Division I has the same opportunity to make the tournament. It's the fairest thing possible. All you have to do is win your automatic bid in your league against your peers with the teams you decided to be in a league with. And if you don't do that, then you go into the pool with everybody else. But
maybe MJ made a phone call.
Yeah, somebody made something.
All right, we're
their athletic director was on the selection. He says, he recused himself.
Yeah, he recused himself. All right, he left a few love notes though before he left.
Yeah.
If you haven't hit the like button, we're up to 409.
I got a couple of stickies in the lunchroom for you boys.
Exactly. Let's see how many brackets we're up to. 155.
Come on, we might hit 200
before
the
for
night's
200 on the first night. Yeah,
that's pretty damn good.
Over for 200.
They want their gifts.
All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. If you haven't yet signed up for the March Madness bracket, tonight's night one. It's out. You have until Thursday afternoon to lock in your picks and put yourself in a position to win some free merch from us. We're going to probably give top 10, which I don't think we've ever even come close to. I think we've done top 3. But the guys say we got to do top 10. But that's only if we get to 300 brackets. Right now we have 155. So we're halfway there.
Okay.
Before Thursday at noon. That means we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. So we got 2 more shows.
That's right.
To get this thing over 300 brackets, which doesn't seem like it should be too hard to do.
Yep, that's right. We got 4 playing games too yet.
Go to our @LFS6B on X. Go to @LFS6B. Right there pinned at the top of our page is the bracket. You can link to it, fill out your bracket, and see who you come up with going to the Final Four. I did a rough one, which I'm going to make some changes to it though.
Oh yeah,
because I'm a little chalky right now, but I'm not going to stay chalky.
Boy, those brackets force you into being chalky though.
It's hard not to be chalky. I know when you look at the way that, especially this year, where you see kind of where the number ones, if they get through, the first 2 games, who they would line up against.
I like my 14s over the 3s. That's where I like.
There's not a lot that makes you go,
12 beats a 5.
Yeah, 12 beats a 5 every time. That's true.
A lot of
and
times.
Michigan was
Can't
a 5,
go wrong.
which I was surprised to see Michigan fall so high yesterday.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how we do here on the show between each other. You can all pick your number 12s if you feel that confident, and we'll see how it goes. So, Slick, let's do some sports besides our March Madness bracket, which we'll spend more time on as we get closer to Thursday. What else is going on in sports?
Well, one more quick sweep of the scoreboard for the night. We got NHL hockey right now. Maple Leafs 5-1 over the Flames, 16 to go there in the third. End of 2. Good one. Kings and Wild knotted at 1. In OT final tonight, the Sabres over the Bruins 3-2. Lightning blanked the Flyers 2-0 their final, and 2-1 the Devils over the Blue Jackets. NBA action: Knicks 97-75 over the 8-7 to go in the fourth. The Sixers outscored by 22 in the third quarter. Right now lead they're tied with the Rockets at 102. End of 3 quarters. Pacers lead the Timberwolves 72-70. 5 to go there in the third. Also late third. Pistons over the Pelicans, 80-51. Bulls edging the Jazz right now, 35-33, 8 to go there in the second. A couple of the games coming up at 10 p.m., about 6 games on the slate. You can check them out because I'm not going to go through all that right now, Big D, because you're going to wrap up the show. But Trump's HHS finds Maine violated Title IX by allowing males on female sports teams. Not exactly enlightening news, but just the same. Catherine Hamilton of Breitbart reporting earlier today, President Donald Trump's Department of Health and Human Services, the HHS, on Monday announced that Maine violated federal rights laws by allowing males to play on female sports. The department's Office for Civil Rights, OCR, specifically found that the Maine Department of Education, the Maine Principals Association, and Greeley High School have each violated Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972, which prohibits discrimination based on sex in education programs and activities receiving federal funding. The OCR launched its compliance review after a transgender identifying boy claimed the victory in the Maine Class B championship for the Greeley High School girls track and field team in February. The high school boy was allowed to perform on the girls team despite Trump's executive order barring males from participating on female sports. Following Trump's order, Maine officials publicly said they would not comply with the order, citing transgender identifying males over women on girls sports. So long story short, we're going to see what the ramifications are, but President Trump's executive order on keeping men out of women's sports was created to protect female athletes from having to compete with or against or having to appear unclothed before males. So I think there's going to be some money withheld, Big D, but we'll see more on that as the week goes on. And that's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, thanks. Rodney Davis on Facebook says, so LFS6B is becoming an ESPN wannabe. See you guys in April. See ya.
Okay,
what are we supposed to do? Jump up and down and be scared? Oh, see you in April. Go ahead. See you in April. Why are you afraid of Mark Kelly and Elon derangement syndrome? What do you mean, why are we afraid of Elon? What's the story there? That the guy bought a new car? Whoop-de-doo. He gave Elon his money for his car, and then he bought a Chevy Trailblazer. Wow, what a story. Guy's a buffoon. Not you, Mark Kelly. Well, what are we supposed to talk about? See you in April. Okay, see ya. Bye.
How are we going to make out without him?
Holy cow, these people sometimes. All right, Delgado, let's do some news. See you in April.
Tell us how you really
see you in April. Okay, see you in April.
That's when the Epstein file's really going to come out.
Come on. We're back just in time for the Epstein update. Great. What else is going on in the news, Delgado?
All right. Well, some good news, believe it or not, using, about 60-year-old technology. SpaceX founder Elon Musk.
60-year-old technology.
You just saw about the opening clip of the night, right? That's fine. I don't blame you.
I'm just stating a story about him. He's sending a rocket to save astronauts using 60-year-old technology. NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, who are being rescued by SpaceX mission, after being stranded on the International Space Station by Boeing and Joe Biden, thanked President Trump and Musk for their support in bringing them back to Earth. Musk, the SpaceX founder and Tesla CEO, recently posted a video on X featuring the stranded NASA astronauts expressing their gratitude to President Trump and Elon Musk. The 25-second clip captioned "Stranded NASA astronauts thank Musk," and whatever, who cares? President Trump posted the video on his Truth Social. Well, they're just repeating the same lines over on this stupid article here.
Well, I'm glad you vetted it.
President Trump posted the video on his Truth Social platform. In the video, Sunita Williams can be heard saying, "We're coming back before long, so don't make plans without me. We'll be back before too long." Of course, they've been stranded up there since last year after the Biden administration put the old ixnay on the rescue way of sending up Elon Musk SpaceX to go rescue them because he had sided and he had come out in favor of President Trump. So now they are now on their way back after being stranded for about 9 months on the International Space Station. Set to return to Earth in 2 days on March 19th, alongside astronaut Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Alexander Gurbanov.
So his technology was good enough to save these people and get them back home.
Yeah, that's good.
Just because he didn't find any aliens on his way there, you're all bitter about it.
No, I'm not bitter about it. I'm just saying.
Sounds like it to me.
Keep using flammable liquid to get off the Earth. That's right. Not like we haven't figured out something.
Well, what do you want him to use? A hot air balloon?
I don't know. I think you don't think we have something better.
You want like a reverse gravity thing?
He wants to go back to his propulsion nonsense. Whatever.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'm sure something like that exists. They just don't allow us to see it
Probably in your
yet.
basement. Anything else in the news, Delgado?
Yes.
As I bring this show to a screeching halt.
Yes. Slick and I
told the audience don't watch.
Slick and I have still not been booked. Slick and I have still not been booked for a flight to the Sphere.
Well, you got $5 more, so you're only about.
That's your remaining news.
That's my last piece of remaining news.
Man.
And Tropical Depression Damon has shifted and has moved over Long Island.
Okay, very good. One last thing I want to get to, getting back to the pardon thing, because where there's smoke, there's fire, and it continues to, again, I think it's a case worth making. I don't have time to go through it, but our guy Shipwreck Crew today over at Red State, is the pardon attorney's dismissal a sign of an investigation into Biden's last-minute pardons? And what he's referring to is, as I said, Todd Blanche, keep an eye on Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, on his second day in office, sent a written notice of termination to Liz Oyer. Who is that? She is the pardon attorney or former pardon attorney in the Department of Justice. The pardon attorney is a career position in that it is not an office that requires a presidential appointment that is confirmed by the Senate. The pardon attorney is appointed by the Attorney General, but the position is in the senior executive service, quote unquote. These are the top management positions just below the presidential appointees in all federal agencies. And so Shipwreck Crew is saying, pay attention over here because this could mean something bigger is brewing. And that's yet still to be seen.
I wonder if maybe there's emails that they've preserved that could expose what's been going on.
I don't know. We'll see. As always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron, Frank, great job as always. Fill out those brackets before Thursday. And we'll see you tomorrow night right here live from Studio 6B.
Stubbed your toe?